building.
No.
It's not the same as your music career.
Ain't no paper. Man, listen, okay, you got your Kevin Hart's and your Dave Chappelle's, your Cat Williams, and me. Then you got me down here, you know what I'm saying? Like it goes, it's the scale slide.
Yeah.
It ain't a slope, it's a dip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, man, I ain't even tripping because it's so much fun and I enjoy myself. And the energy always just be, and that's the thing I think when we get older, when we done had money, cause we done had time where we had all the money in the world and the energy just wasn't right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, I value my peace of mind and I just value, good energy and being able to just.
So there you have it. That's T.I. He said he enjoys it, but at the end of the day, he said there's no money in the industry. Like I said, I heard T.I. was doing a comedy, but I didn't know he was trying to be serious or trying to make money out of it. So I don't know about you, Ronnie. Did you know he was trying to make money off of comedy, or do you think it's funny?
Of course. Yes, of course. And I don't know, y'all heard too about the lawsuit that the 72 million that he supposedly won. Now the judge, now I think they're going back to the judge, so because supposedly they reduced the amount of money that's been going to be given to them. So I think it's not 72 million. I think it's like 12 million, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong with the numbers, but yeah. Remember, everything you do, you want to be compensated for. It's just that's the rule of the game. We live in a you know, in a wealthy society where it's built on money, a commonwealth society. So everything is built on money. Everything we do, we don't just want to do it for free. Now, T.I., at some point, he even said remember he got compensated for being an actor. He got compensated for being a you know, artist. Now he want to be compensated for being a comedian, and he don't understand being a comedian is very very hard. A lot of people will tell you that. Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, you know, David Chappelle, they will tell you that it took them long time before where they at today, before where they at right now. So it's gonna take a lot of work. And not to be honest, but T.I. is not really that funny to me. Or to me, he just need to get better writers. People keep forgetting Kevin Hart do have writers. And also he write his own material. So if you really want to make like really, really good money and want to really be successful in being a comedian, he need to study the greats. Red Fox, you know, all the greats. You know, the list could go on and on, but he do want to get compensated, but it's just gonna take a slow grind. It's just like the rap game. It takes a while. It's not gonna be as fast paced. Go right ahead, Kim.
So when I heard him say that, I was insulted. This is something you come in and you think this is just like something to play with. Real comedians take this shit seriously. They spend their whole life in this. You say there's no money, nobody's booking you, homie. You just got in here. We want to hear you say, so why you gonna go and do that? That's all I want to hear you to do. I never heard your jokes. You be too serious all the time. But to say that comedics should be taking offense, who paved the way? It takes comedics sometimes 10 years to perfect a craft to get to the point where you got Dave Chappelle is worth $100 million. But do you know he does 15? There was one year he did 1,500 shows just on the road, small clubs, and he is big as him. He do that. You know what I mean? Tiffany Haddish, Air Spears, Earthquake. Like I could keep going. I could name some names. Like these guys, they get booked. You know what I mean? Our boy, what's his name? The short guy.
Kevin Hart.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams. You know what I mean? Like who does? He's worth about $50-something million over that. So I don't know how you say ain't no money. Nobody booking you because you don't have a love for this. Don't come disrespect the craft. Go back to music. Put out some more records and make some money over there.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. When it comes to the comedic games, I live in LA. there's thousands of comedians over here. And the average comedian works a 9 to 5. Maybe had 2 jobs. And what they do, they not just do, they work, they do stand up, they have gigs, or also they have their social media, Instagram or TikTok or something like that, try to make money off of that and everything. So to me, T.I., I don't like when like celebrities when they try to jump into comedy, and to me, I feel like they take it as a joke. No, if you're funny, you been doing this a long time ago. And that's how comedians starts. They start like in their 20s and they work hard. They just don't go do gigs. They got to work 9 to 5s as well. Some do overnights. Some has 2 jobs and everything. So you just gotta, when it comes to people, you gotta work on your craft every day. Who is your influencer? Is it Eddie Murphy, Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, some old heads, some stand up people, Don Curry, and multiple people. Because like I said, back in the '90s, in the late '90s and 2000s, I was, I love Comedy View. It was on BET. That was one of the best comedy shows around that time, anyways. And I see these, these legends that came out of Comic View, and also comedians that came out from the Apollo Theater in New York City. They had to work their tail off. Some of these comedians was homeless, but they love what they do. And T.I. just saying that, it's like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I heard you was doing comedy, but you only see you going to YouTube, say, oh, let me see T.I. what he doing and everything. Or you won't hear people, giving them buzz on social media, say, hey man, T.I. is a funny man like that. We don't know that about you, T.I. I'm starting to say, sir, you're good with other things, your music, producing, other things, but when it comes to the comedian, you gotta have a real talent to be the comedian. You don't have a T.I. I'm sorry. If I see you, if I go to your show, if you ain't good, I'm gonna heckle. I'm from Michigan, and if you ain't good, we gonna heckle you. I ain't gonna lie. So, yeah, T.I. You probably do some gigs here and there, but end of the day, T.I. If somebody saw you was funny, you probably have a skit on a commercial, a skit on a sitcom, or a skit on a movie, something like that. We don't see you, T.I. Or you was doing movies. There's really nothing there was nothing that you did. I was kind of trying to cover that. Was oh, that was kind of funny. Any movies that he did and everything. So yeah, T.I. I mean, there's some money because there's some money. I mean, is there money in comedian? Not really, because like I said, average comedians, they work 9 to 5. But the rare comedians, the 1% of comedians, they work 10, 20, 30 years to build up their craft. And now they're big time. So yeah, T.I. man, there's no money. There's no money on it because there is no money. You thought it was money because you thought he was funny. At the end of the day, it's like, oh man, ain't no. I thought there ain't no period. I thought it was because you're not that funny, T.I. You're not.
Yeah, no, I was saying I agree with Dollar what he said in the chat. It's just like YouTube. People see people's success early and think is what it's cried up to be. But it takes a lot of work to be a YouTuber. It's not as easy as what people make it seem like. Because you see them getting the super chat, the cash app, and you seeing they get a lot of people in the building. It take them a long time before they got there.
Hey,
Believe it.
Hakeem, you know who's funnier than T.I.?
Oh.
You. You're funnier than T.I.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No, but T.I. just got the name behind his back. Go ahead, Hakeem.
Yeah. So there's one point I want to think that that we want to hone in on that Dialogue said. Celebrities need to stop thinking they could just switch careers. And you said that, Jordan, and think that, okay, I'm done with this, I can go do this. I'm done with this, I can go do that. It's offensive to the person who's been doing this sweat and tears and has a real passion for it. But you see a lot of rappers, they'll go start a podcast. What are you going to talk about? What do you
What
need
everybody
to
else
like?
talking about? What everybody else talking about? You ain't see Tiger?
Yeah.
Tiger got a podcast, and now Lizzo got a podcast on Twitch.
You see, like when I'm hearing this, I'm like, okay, is this a money grab, or you seeing everybody doing this? But I always just say, like, you got to just stay in your lane.